My entrance into this world was neither unique nor auspicious. I was born in time for lunch to Billy and Irving Wolfe, named Marcia D.W. at Mount Vernon Hospital, Mount Vernon, New York. I grew up with my brother Lewis in Westchester County, Eastchester, New York. Graduated Tuckahoe High School, salutatorian and president of my senior class. Athletically inclined, I played softball and pitched for the women's interscholastic team, and I played forward on the women's basketball team. I won a reserve championship in horseback riding, was a national archery champion. I was attending Syracuse University and decided to go to watch a wrestling match, something I'd never seen before. I probably would have never gone back, but I met and began dating Terry Haise, an All-American at Syracuse University. He gave me a book by Rex Perry. I read it and I was sold on the sport. We moved to Long Island. My husband began coaching for Freeport High School. Our son Jeff was a cadet and wrestling at the state tournament for freestyle. I was watching the matches along with our other children, and Tony Melosi, head official, walked over to me and asked if I wanted to referee. I'd been watching matches for years, been yelling at referees, and was really anxious to try my hand at what he asked. He handed me a shirt that went down to my knees with shoulders that were red and blue, and I was ready to go. My husband is the initial individual who influenced my career. If he had not been there, I would never have learned any of the wrestling moves out of his wrestling room, and I would not have been able to position myself properly when on the mat. My follow-up education came from my mentors, Bill Stark and Joe Russo. I traveled Long Island adapting their moves and their explanations to my style of officiating. I moved from an M3 to an M1E and eventually was recommended by Mort Geller to get my FILA license. Thanks to Rick Tucci and Bill Stetline, who supported my international officiating, I had opportunities that many people do not get. As a referee, when you step on the mat, you need to be extremely prepared. You need to know every rule in the rule book, as well as every possible move that you conceive could be done on the mat. While you are on that mat, you are not to take any conceptual value of any particular individual. You are totally objective in what you are scoring. You are strictly a secretary of points so that an accurate score is accomplished at the end of the mat, and the athlete that was best that day walks off uninjured a winner.
At the Women's World Championships in Tokyo and her expertise in Greco over the years, Marcia has become an inspiration to women across the United States to become officials and to become the best that they can be.
I want to express my gratitude to USA Wrestling and to the USA Wrestling Officials Association. Without them, I would never have had an opportunity to do 15 World Championships in 20 foreign countries, 4 Pan American Championships, 5 World Cups, a significant group of world team, and Olympic trials.
Marcia has long been a trailblazer in the sport of wrestling. She reached the very highest level of the sport as a referee at the international level, becoming an M1 Exceptionalle, I believe in 1998, became one of the very first women, not only in the United States, but in the world to achieve that status. She's long been a great ambassador and advocate for wrestling and served in many roles within USA Wrestling in a leadership position, and on our diversity committees. She's been involved in our women's wrestling program from its inception.
15 years after commencing freestyle, I decided to try my luck at folk style. From the top of the pile, I now became a low-level official on the junior varsity level. Within the next 10 years, I moved up and have now become the only woman to do the NYSPHSAA state championships and have done them 3 times. You do not succeed unless your family is there for you. Your husband has to support you in your endeavors so that you can succeed at what you desire. I have 3 wonderful children, Jeff, Wendy, and Brian. Each one of them has supported me as I've moved through my career. This particular award says it all. It recognizes me for my dedication to a sport that is outstanding in my opinion and needs to be replicated throughout the world for its significance in developing positive attitudes in various individuals.